to another episode of Eric's Camping Adventures. Today I am headed out to a sequestered campsite in a local state park, and I looked around yesterday just to kind of scope out the park, and I found this quiet little campsite. It wasn't too close to anyone else, and another part of the campground was closed for the winter, so I am looking at a nice quiet night out by myself in the snow. Come along. So I am headed out to Keystone Lake just west of Tulsa, and the weather tonight is forecast to be 6 degrees. I'm not sure it's going to get that cold because last night it only got down to 20, and it was forecast to be down 6 degrees. So the high today is about 38 degrees, and I think I'm going to have a good old time. I probably have more equipment to stay warm than is necessary, and we will just see how it goes, see what we need, see what we don't. Before I get to my campsite, I always check out the site on Google Maps from satellite view just to see what the campsite looks like and where I'm going to be at in relationship to other people. The first thing that I do when I get to my campsite is set up my shelter. Today I decided to prepare some wood next because there was a deadfall limb still burning in the fire pit from the previous occupants, and the other deadfall, or probably some service workers cleaning up some lumber that left, was covered with ice, and I wanted to prepare it and set it on the table to dry out in the sun. I like to cut my pieces of wood just a little bit shorter. That way I can split them with a hatchet. It also makes the fire a little bit lower. You don't have a real high fire in the evening, but it makes it a little more even for cooking. I had not yet decided what I was going to do for dinner. After getting my wood split, I took a little look around my campsite, and I was just noticing that there's more than just deadfall left burning. Someone had actually gone to the bathroom right by the table, and I decided, because I was probably likely to be wandering around that table quite a bit, that I better clean it up before I stepped in it, dragged it into my tent, or onto other equipment. Pretty sad that someone just defecated by a table in a campsite. I think because they had toilet paper, they had some idea that they might need to prepare for this human activity. Just kind of sad. There are some solutions to your daily needs. I always bring a little bucket with me. They're very cheap and very easy to prepare. They come with little trash bags. I always bring my wipes with me. You can just set these up in a flash. If you didn't realize how far you were going to be from your bathroom, one of these comes in handy. If you got to go right away, these come in handy. But just going to the bathroom by a table, it's a little bit weird. I was actually cleaning up and the ranger came by, and I just told him, what I was cleaning up, and they knew who had stayed here the night before. And I kind of hoped that he would do something about it, maybe express that they're not welcome to come back for a little while till they clean up their etiquette. I spent a little bit of time cleaning up my campsite. After getting my campsite cleaned up and my wood prepared, I decided to go for a walk. I walked through what they call red carpet country, which is a tent camping area in the park, and it was closed for the winter. I've never seen it blanketed in snow on such a clear day with just a beautiful white blanket. After my walk, I was able to come back and revive that fire from the night before. Just found some tinder on the ground, drying out in the sun, and didn't have to do much to get that fire going. I decided to keep dinner simple with a mountain house adventure meal. My favorite, lasagna with meat sauce. Hot meals and drinks are a great way to keep yourself warm on a winter day. After supper, I took in some drone shots just above the tree line and then up to about 400 feet just to look around the park. One of the big attractions at Keystone Lake is boating, fishing. There is a pier, there is a restaurant. You could make this as civilized or almost as backcountry as you want to. From the 400-foot view, you can see all the fingers of Keystone Lake, where the Cimarron River comes in from the southwest and the Arkansas River comes in from the northwest. There is the Keystone Dam. I mentioned before that I look on Google Maps before I choose a campsite, and today I chose the most remote campsite with the furthest distance between me and other campers, just in case they were to flood into the park. I do that because when I am out in nature, I like to be by myself in solitude. I do some reading, a little contemplation, reflection, just a quiet time. Alone, away from others. I work with people and I love people, but at the same time I like quietness out in nature. Right now I'm thinking ahead by taking the water that I have stored in my hot water bottle and I'm pouring it into my pot to heat it up, and that little bag is going to go at the bottom of my 0-degree sleeping bag just in case it gets cold tonight. Well, hey, I am getting ready to turn in here. It's getting pretty late here, and still staying warm inside my tent. It hasn't cooled off yet. You might ask yourself, why do you do this and go out and camp in the cold? And I think the answer to that is real simple: to find peace and quiet and peacefulness in nature. Again, synthetic base layers against my core and legs and arms, and puffy jacket right now. I'm still getting used to what the temperature is in here, and I will probably remove that here in a few minutes. But wool hat, wool socks, wool gloves. Don't ever use cotton when you're trying to camp in the cold. It's just a recipe for disaster. Anyway, I'm going to turn in for the night. I will see you in the morning.
Hey, thanks for joining me for another trip out to the country for a little bit of quietness.